It's week 2 of the National Football League, and if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Saints and the Cowboys, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. Commanding this unit will be the 6'2 quarterback out of BYU. It's Taysom Hill.
hitting to adjust on the fly, almost unmatched in the game right now because of snaps per game, where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. So much for coming out throwing as it leads to an early 2nd down and long. Hill now to throw. It's it to Thomas.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
From the gun on 3rd, Hill. "23 yards on the tuck and run.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Now Hill. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. The Saints at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to take care of business in front of the home crowd last week.
Yeah, it's always nice to get that opener at home, but now things get a little bit tougher. The good thing for them, though, is they take a little extra confidence with them when they head out on the road.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. The slot man in motion right. Hill. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. Well into the triple digits, and they'll take that every time out.
What I loved was just how decisive he was running the football. Coaches like guys that go north and south. They don't like the east-west guys, the juking and the jiving. 1 foot in the ground and cut.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career, and Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career. This is going to be the matchup to watch out on the perimeter, and it won't be the last time these two go at it. Both of them believe they are the superior. In this case, the win goes to the defense.
And his kick is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Nice move at the 40. And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line. Well, the Cowboys making their way out behind the NFL's leader in touchdown passes for 2023. In his 9th season now, Dak Prescott.
And he's coming off one of the best seasons of his career, where he finished as a runner-up in the MVP chase after throwing for over 4,500 yards, 36 touchdowns, and less than 10 interceptions for the first time in a few years. An integral part of the Cowboys' run to the playoffs. He's hoping to take it a step further here in 2024.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Prescott. Catch made right side by Wilson. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 4. Prescott now from the 50. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's able to get up here to the 26. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run in running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Here's Hill. Finding room at midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. 10 more there and another 1st down. To throw is Hill. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
And sometimes when you see a running back lined up out wide, you think maybe he's just a decoy. But not in this case. He was lined up out wide to the left, turned into a primary receiver, and picked up a nice chunk of yardage.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Throwing again is Hill. Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Hill looks to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, Tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
And the Saints are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on second and goal. And again, it's Hill. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? Now it's Hill. Out to his left. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. And this one is right through. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on fourth and goal anyway, but the sack on third down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
The numbers for Zeke from last week. 20 carries, 117 yards.
So coming off the opener where they established the run and established it well, their goal is to make sure that the trend continues and to serve notice to the rest of the league that they might be a run-first team.
That is incomplete. CeeDee Lamb is intended target, and it's third down and 2. Now you look at this Saints defense. They've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. And Zeke will have a Cowboys first down as he'll get this down to the 23. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. His throw incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a third and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
6-0 our score after 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. Now, this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. Now, they trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Prescott yet again. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the Cowboys are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Elliott is in. Touchdown, Dallas.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. He's got it, and they take the lead at 7-6. A 10-play drive that time, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting threes, and you're coming back and getting twos, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those sixes on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now. Out of the gun, Hill. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. He'll be dropped at the 30. The first broken tackle couldn't bust him free. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Here's Hill. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Hill throwing once more. He gets it to Cooks. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Back to throw, Hill. And this one's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Here's Hill. A quick one here hauled in by Kamara. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. From the gun, here's Hill. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. To the air again, Hill. On the check down, he finds Kamara. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room. Too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught, 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure. And it's a loss of 6. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Here's Blake Groupie now for the Saints field goal. This a 43-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
2nd and 5. Inside give to Elliott. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 48 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Now 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Wilson. They'll give him 4 yards there. And 3rd and 1 now. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Prescott now. That is caught. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. A first down carry by Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. Now Prescott. This is caught. Touchdown! C.D. Lamb, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cowboys have regained the lead.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
Aubrey now for the PAT. And the lead is up to 5. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's finished off by the touchdown from C.D. Lamb. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive in with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Hill. And his throw is incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Down the right sideline. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas. 74 yards. And the Saints have yet again retaken the lead. Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen, took a quick exhale on the sidelines. So let's go get it back and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. Groupie able to add the PAT, and the lead is now 2. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's Michael Thomas who ends it with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Dak Prescott and the offense heading back onto the field. Last series, the ball never hit the ground. 6 of 6, touchdown pass, so whatever he did then, do it again, right?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of when I watched the best quarterbacks throw 7-on-7 or even routes versus air. They're accurate. The receivers catch it. The ball never touches the ground. Or if you want to take it to basketball, a well-executed fast break, right? Pass, 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 finish at the rim, basket. Yeah, ball never hits the ground there either.
Tenth carry now for Elliott. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 68 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll bring up second down. Looking to throw. Prescott going right back to Ferguson. So a decent gain there, but not their 4th consecutive first down like they had on the first 3 plays.
You sound almost disappointed there. You want to fire the offensive coordinator on that one or what?
They'd gotten into a rhythm. I thought they were just going to keep going.
Well, almost a win for the defense, but if that's your win, you're not doing very well right now.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. And his kick here is good. And they have regained the lead. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. A shotgun snap for Hill. This is caught. It's Cooks. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. To throw is Hill. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Hill now to throw.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Now Hill. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
Alvin Kamara.
He has career touchdown number 78, tying him with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list.
And the Saints will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Here's Groupie for the PAT.
And that'll make this a 6-point game. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it's polished off through the air with a touchdown to Alvin Kamara. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field.
They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen.
Oh, Prescott stripped. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. A little careless with a football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Now it's Hill. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion right here. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So on 4th down, on is Lou Hedley to punt for New Orleans. Cavante Turpin deep for the Cowboys.
That's taken on the 25. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Final play of the half, Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15.
And he will step out of bounds down near the 10-yard line.
So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Prescott.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Taken in at the 22. So possession goes over here on the punt. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here.
So from the 37, here's 2nd and a yard.
Hill looks to throw.
Again, it's Johnson.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10.
Here's Hill. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And they'll accept that penalty.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And not much running room. Down to the 32.
It was Osa Odighizuwa on the tackle.
Here's Hill.
The pass caught by Olave.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Out of the gun, Hill.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Now they'll put a receiver in motion left.
Kamara is in. Touchdown, New Orleans.
That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is lets you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage, just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you're trying to throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And a good return, but he pays the price at the end of it as he's picked up and thrown down.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
And this one too low.
He has still not connected on a single pass in this second half.
And right now they're going through all the different reasons, the whys, the wherefores. Bottom line, got to find some completions in there and get their offense moving.
And a completion to Wilson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. Throwing, Prescott.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They'll get 13 yards for the 2nd play in a row. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
Another one to CeeDee Lamb. He's got it.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll throw again. Prescott.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Prescott.
He's got his running back out of the backfield.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a 1st down.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check-down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
Now Prescott. Throw left side complete. That's Ferguson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
They'll try the right side with Elliott. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Prescott to throw it.
Left side to Lamb. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
To throw is Prescott.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
Prescott to throw on 4th. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Here's Hill.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
The ball comes out, and this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well.
The fumble on first down now. Here's second down.
Back to throw, Hill. He gets it to Cooks. The reception good for 7. It's third down. To throw is Hill.
That is caught. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And he stopped immediately there. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Hill. And his throw here is incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
There's a short one caught by Johnson.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another first down.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Now it's Hill. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down. Hill now to throw. This is caught. It's Cooks. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Now Hill.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. Dallas, Texas is the spot, 3rd quarter inside AT&T Stadium. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10.
And that's complete to Cooks.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Throwing again is Hill.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Looking to throw. Prescott. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to fourth down. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10. Find the man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And a college ref fell there. Just find a spot, find the dead zone, find the first down, and that's what he just did.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Looking middle, and that's complete. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor at the first down. Here's Hill. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Osa Odigizua with the effort there to earn the sack. A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the facts, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has the ball a little bit quick.
This taking more that's off the clock already as they come up on second down. Here's Hill. Over the middle into the hands of Michael Thomas. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Hill.
That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans.
A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Saints are on their way to a 2-0 start. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the fourth quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
And now here come the Cowboys.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a third down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
This throw left side is caught by Tolbert.
And this effort won't do it. He needed to get to the 45. He's a yard or two short. So 8 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up 4th down. Running with Elliott. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On the out route, it's Lamb with a grab. And he's brought down. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Prescott now. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Prescott.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. Dak and the offense still out there. They are going to go for it. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10. Throwing quickly to Wilson.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down. And again, it's Prescott.
He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
Here's Prescott. And he comes back with one complete.
Yeah, the Cowboys are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And it's caught. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Luke Schoonmaker.
A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Cowboys have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Aubrey now for the point after.
And they're able to cut the deficit to 12. So that drive spans 13 plays. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
Mozzie Smith there to bring him down. Here's a 2nd and 5.
In motion left goes Cooks.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. There's Kamara trying to run for it. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Here's Blake Groupie now for the Saints field goal. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Cowboys offense and the veteran Ezekiel Elliott set to go to work once more. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. Now Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 down at the 39. A 2 timeouts still remaining, but scoring quickly a must. It's 1st and 10. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Here's Prescott. He finds his man, complete. It's Ferguson. CD with that last pass. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. Here's a 2nd and 7. To throw, Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Here's 1st and goal. Prescott. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for 1 here and save the possible 2-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for 2 here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah. Now
you're wondering why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
Aubrey good with a PAT, as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So with just under 40 seconds to go, you figure this is going to need to bounce their way if they have any shot. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though. Now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. Well, things started off exciting. This one had a high-scoring first half, and nobody let their foot off the gas in the second half either, Charles. And, you know, for them, a really nice victory in a high-scoring output.
You're right about that, because so many times we'll see teams come out slow and take a while to get going, and points become a little bit harder to score near the end of games, as we know, because everyone tightens down. But no such issues in this game. The scoring started right away and held up at a steady clip the remainder of the game.
So for New Orleans, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.